Yo, we are on the road to Wonderland. And I am your host, Jimmy Eats. Jimmy Eats. Today we are going to review a video from somebody named Max7. This video was released 11 years ago. 11 years ago, which is nuts. I'm gonna read part of this description to the video so we can get like a baseline of what's going on and why I'm so interested in reviewing it here with you today. So the description goes, this is just anecdotal. This is what worked for me. I suggest you try it though. December 2013, I weighed 148. June 2014, I weighed 142. The point is, I can eat higher calories and stay lean, whereas before I'd get chubby eating less than I do now. I went from a paleo, moderate carb, low sugar, higher fat diet to a high sugar, low starch, low fat diet and saw improvements. I follow a diet based on Ray Peat's eating guidelines, just lower in fat. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this reaction.
Hey, I just want to make a quick video about how I was able to raise my metabolism over the last year or so. What I mean is how I was able to eat about 3,500 calories per day without gaining body fat. And half that time I wasn't even exercising, I was biking a little bit for transportation, but like half that time I wasn't even lifting weights or whatever. And that might seem not that crazy, but a lot of people would think that you would gain body fat or whatever at 3,500 calories. And maybe you can, but I did some things, in my opinion, which I'm going to share with you.
3,500 calories at 148 is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And to be losing weight or staying lean at that many calories is it's pretty impressive.
Which allowed me to raise my metabolism easily, or safely, rather. So I'll get right into it. I'm using this website called Chronometer, which I've been logging every day for the last 6 months. That's why I'm making this video, because I could get an average for the day. And it's not like I'm obsessive about it, but it's just kind of a self-experiment to see how my body reacts to certain intake and certain breakdown of food. And I didn't actually plan out how much I was going to eat each day. It just kind of whatever it was, I just logged it. So I'll get right to it. I averaged over the last 6 months 3,450 calories. 78% of my total intake was carbohydrate, so I was on a very high carb diet, but only 110 of those carbohydrates were starch. So that means I was eating about 530 grams of sugar per day for the past 6 months, which might.
It's nice to know that it's not no starch, it's low starch, but since I've been doing the diet and focusing more on starch than hard hitting sugar, it has turned my experience around even more. I have the same energy. I'm still eating the hard hitting sugar, normally along with the starch, but my meals feel so much more satiating and I go so much more time without thinking about food or thinking about eating. It's not like I'm ever starving to the point where I feel ravenous, but it's always easy to have a carb source. I don't have to fix a meal most of the time. Most of the time I can just eat something really quick and move on. But yeah, it's nice to know that he's still eating starch, but let's get back into it.
Make people think you get really fat, right? But I actually lost a couple of pounds doing that. Fiber was like 50 grams, but whatever. My fat was 6.6% of my diet, which is really low. I was eating 26 grams per day. Most of those 26 grams were saturated. My polyunsaturated was 3.5 grams on average, and my protein was 123 grams, so 14% of my diet. And the last 4 weeks though, I did lower my intake just because I was kind of like not.
You know this video is old because it's a square. So that tells you how old it is. It's not a rectangle or not much of a rectangle. That's anytime I'm watching old cartoons like the Rugrats or even Recess, I always notice how half like 3/4 of the screen is just black because they cut the corners off.
As hungry. It was kind of, but it was only by 200. So I was averaging the last 4 weeks 3,200 calories. Similar breakdown of macronutrients. Yeah. So hold on a sec. Oh yeah, and about a month ago I was still. Oh yeah, I weigh 143 pounds, 142 pounds, and I am 5'4", 5'5" if I stand up really straight. All right, I have some notes here because I don't really make videos. So what did I eat? Yes, I ate a lot of fruit, like a lot of bananas, a lot of dried fruit, dates, apricots, prunes, even. And for my starch, I mostly had white rice or even bread. Last year I was gluten-free for 3 years, but I've been eating bread here and there, bread, pasta, whatever. My protein mostly came from cottage cheese and yogurt, low fat, and and I would eat maybe beef once a month or so, and I would try to keep my fat low. There was a point in January and February where I was eating like less than 20 grams of fat, but I would eat like a pound.
Another thing I've been telling myself over and over again that is not low, it's not no fat, it's low fat. So I bought some like 97.3 beef last night, and my wife was kind enough to make me some hamburgers. I made like a double hamburger. I had a piece of cheese in there, ketchup, mustard, and Mark Bell mentions your taste buds resetting, and you couldn't tell me that was lean beef. It tastes amazing. So ate that with some fat-free pretzels and lost weight this morning. I'm down to my lowest actually. I matched my lowest, so nothing lower. But we'll talk when I get to 263. Next pit stop is exit 263.
Pound and a half of dates, which would put me at like 2,000 calories from dates alone. But yeah, so it wasn't always like this. I was a year ago. I think my metabolism was pretty shot. 5 years ago, I had a slight eating disorder, which is in a video I made a year ago. I talk about it, and that, along with a lot of distance running for 7 years, really made my metabolism pretty low. Like I would put on body fat even while running 9-10 miles a day if I didn't watch what I ate. And sometimes, like towards the end of the season, I would cut back on my intake so I wouldn't lean out a little bit at the end of the season. But anyway, I stopped running last year around this time, and I started eating whatever I want. Matt Stone has this approach to raise your metabolism called Eat for Heat, and that's what I did. I basically stuffed myself with everything, just low polyunsaturated fat, and I'll make another video about why I don't like that at all. But so here's a picture of me in August last year. You can see I was a bit of a fatty. I'll stand up now.
He looks amazing in that picture. That's it.
By the way, just to show what I look like now, I'm not gonna like go crazy, but I'm relatively lean. I lift weights about 3 times a week, mostly for my legs though. I do a lot of upper body weight training for my upper body. But anyway, where am I going here? Oh yeah, so I was eating for heat and I got a little fat, and I think that helped me raise my total calorie intake, because I don't, like last year at this time I was eating only about 2,500 because I did log here and there. I mean, I would flip-flop depending on what time of the season it was, but that was really low, and I was getting fat if I was eating like 3,000 calories a day. And I think what really helped was, besides eating a low fat and low starch, because I mean I think that's really important for people that want to slim down, is to eat lower fat, lower starch. It helps. At least it did for me. I felt good doing it too. But also, like, raise your intake really slowly, like 100 to 200 calories every week or two is a safer way to increase your metabolism without putting on body fat. And
I think that's good advice for people who are already in control of their diets and are already counting calories and hit a different kind of plateau with it. but not so much great advice for somebody who hasn't been watching what they're eating and is just changing what they're eating. Like, I understand that in order to lose weight, a lot of people don't want to hear this. You have to be in a calorie deficit. It's the only thing that makes sense, at least thus far. But that doesn't mean you have to count the calories or meticulously track the calories in order to be in a calorie deficit. You can just be eating the right amounts of the right food. My wife is naturally slim, has been naturally slim her whole life, along with my brother, and they don't count calories. They eat desserts, they eat sugar, they eat fish, the whole gambit. Whatever they're into, they eat. So, yeah, great advice for somebody who's contest prepping or an athlete, anybody who's watching their food closely.
I mean, some people have to put on body fat before they can raise their metabolism, especially if they're coming from a damaged state like I was. Though mine wasn't as bad as a lot of other people's. I had really bad eating disorders, for example. Hold on, let's see what I got written down here. And I didn't track when I was doing the eat for heat thing. I was just kind of stuffing myself. So I could have been eating like over 4,000 calories. I don't know, but I did get pretty chubby. The heaviest I ever was. I didn't even weigh myself because I was like, I didn't want to see how much I weighed. Let's see. So what were some signs of my metabolism going up? Well, one thing is I had a lot of energy. It could have been from the sugar that I ate, but I think it was because of the metabolism. I believe sugar raises your metabolism too. What else? I was warm, especially in like January and February when I used to be freezing all the time. Like I wasn't always freezing. Like my hands and feet started warming up towards January, because in October, November they were still cold a little bit. What else? My sleep was deeper. Like I know my metabolism's higher because if I, for example, the other day it was like 8 o'clock and I had only eaten 2,000 calories and my stomach was like growling, which is probably normal for a lot of 23-year-old guys. But I know that last year at this time, or 2 years ago at this time, I would be very happy with 2,000 calories. Like I wouldn't even feel hungry, and that's really low. And another thing I want to say about the diet I'm doing, like it is low fat, it's low starch, and I mean I don't know if it's necessarily healthy at all. Obviously, if I'm eating 6.6% of my calories from fat, that's really low, and it's probably not healthy. And like for someone that's trying to build muscle, eating more cholesterol would help. And like I average 330 milligrams a day, which is like the equivalent of an egg, I think, or maybe an egg and a half. And that's pretty low, especially if I'm trying to build muscle. But yeah, but then you look at the fruitarians, the people that eat mostly fruit, and they're pretty healthy. There's a girl named Freely, the banana girl, and she eats a ton of fruit, and she's very healthy. She posted a video on her channel about her blood test and whatever. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think eating in moderation is better than the stuff I do, but I can't do moderation. I'm insane. So anyway, that was my video.
We'll stop it there. I can't do moderation. I'm insane. I might get a t-shirt that says that because boy, oh boy, I felt that. So he brought up sleep, and sleep is something I don't think I talk about enough. I know I mentioned it in a couple videos, but boy, oh boy, I'm not tossing and turning. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night. I'll lay in bed and I'll turn on a show. And you ever get that feeling where you're fighting to stay awake because you want to watch the show, but it's just not happening? That's how I fall asleep every night. And it's deep. I wake up refreshed. It's been awesome. I have usually take some sleep aids here and there. I haven't needed a sleep aid. Even if I do caffeine later into the day, it's not affecting my sleep as much. Even though I'd still try to keep caffeine as early as possible in the day. It's just the smart thing to do. But yeah, don't talk about sleep enough. But that 11 years ago, he's a pioneer. He is the pioneer of this. I haven't found a video older than this, and it's the sugar diet to a T. So yeah, just awesome to see. But guys, we are at 87 subscribers. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. If you haven't subscribed, please help me hit my goal of 100. And forgot the button. And we will talk soon. Thank you. Peace.